Okay, welcome to episode 44 of the 24AK mod on a Ribbon World. And yeah, spent a bit of time trying to figure out how to get all these pumps and tanks, and there's like tanks, there's steam turbines, that's kind of fine. It's like I think like 5 or 6 episodes since we got this area. We tried to make this kind of power plant thing. Let's get some of these guys out of the way. But hopefully we're about to turn it on and have it make a run and start to generate power, because it turns out that, like, I hadn't really been paying attention to this, but for about the last, yeah, for several nights now, hard to tell on the 10 hours actually, it's probably this cap here, isn't it? Probably going back quite a while. We've been kind of capping out at night, and struggling to get the power the bases need. The bases being like low on power for quite a while. So we're hoping to fix that now once bots get around to putting all these power balls in. I think they're still also struggling for jobs because I gave them more rail over here. So they've apparently built that whole area. That whole area is no longer complaining about not having things. They're complaining about not having turbines and not having pipes. So that's fine, because it probably... I don't think I have any of these. I don't think I have any of these. So yeah, so I think the only change that I'm actually happy about here is that this bank of 4 exchanges that used to be its own kind of thing is now piped into this pump here. So we don't have 11 pipes of this stuff coming anymore. We've only got 9, but then this whole thing is kind of weird in a way that I don't think will work, but that's probably fine. Like, the goal here, the design goal that I'm not going to realize, is that, like, I think I'm going to struggle to get fluid throughput from these pipes. In fact, there probably should also be a pump here. Never mind, not even going to bother with that. Yeah, I think we're going to struggle for fluid throughput here. So the idea is each of these pipes coming off the side of this power plant goes through a bunch of turbines first, and then there's a tank on the other side that only pumps out when there's a surplus. And then also all of, like, this fluid network here of these 10 turbines is specific to this pipe. And then these guys are all kind of shared through this pipe here, and then like down here there's a giant silo, but I don't think this is going to do what it needed to. Like, the plan here was like pump in if these tanks have a surplus, and then pump back into that network if those steam tanks are below that surplus. But I don't think that's going to, like, I think the fluid throughput I need for those 90 turbines is vastly more than this pump will manage. But I've got kind of a battery. I mean, I guess that's basically a giant steam tanker battery. The other thing about this is I've got 186 turbines over here, which is, yeah, more than the 175 I needed to be able to run this in a steady state. So I guess that's also the thing about having a tank down there. What is the heat of these pipes? Well, these are really cooling down. Yeah, and then over the other side we've got kind of a similar mess. These are kind of gross. Not really happy about this. Over here we've got 141 turbines, and I really need 175 on each side to sort of sustain the throughput of the 2 gigawatts that this thing is going to give us. Are we actually fine at the moment? Yeah, we are, because we've got the other side mostly plugged in. Not all of it is plugged in, but most of it's plugged in, and then bots are getting around to it or whatever. Oh, tech finished as well in between. I didn't finish space science. There's some purple science hiccups that we'll talk about. Don't really have enough purples. Like, I'd like to get onto mining productivity 3. I think that'd just be a useful thing. But I think we've got to find some yellow techs. So let's just... like, these 4 here are all immediately following the lead refining recipe. So let's just smash all 4 of these lead refining, like, consequences into the research queue. It's working towards fusion energy. There's some more stuff to do. Advanced crystal production, fusion research. Okay, cool. Those are all things I like. That's great. And we'll just have the base working on that is fine. What did that do to the power grid? Okay, it's still fine. Yeah, so So this side is just a mess. It's kind of not symmetrical because this thing isn't in kind of the even square pictures. Yeah, each time I'm building a power plant on this run, I'm saying like this is some pipe hackery that is temporary, because we're going to have fusion reactors soon, and we might tear all of this up, and we also might not. It might just be that every power plant, including the fusion ones, are a mess. And yeah, the other things that I'm not super happy about is that the way that I made this fit was also by taking out the power poles that were over here, because sometimes, and I think this one over here is not example, but this one is, yeah, if I keep the normal grid power poles in place, then I can't get the undergrounds out, because I kind of need, in order for this to work, let's get these trees out of the way. Oh, and I handcrafted a bunch more landfill as well. That's how we did that. Yeah, get these things out of the way. We need, yeah, this is also more than the 11 that I was talking about doing, like 11 columns of 11 things. Like, but we need about another 30 here, which is about another 2 columns. So I think what we do is we grab, actually it's not going to be, yeah, because these rubber ports are in the way. Maybe I move the rubber ports, maybe I don't. Maybe I just ignore it. Do I go, how far can I get if I've got underground pipes doing those sorts of things? I can get beyond the power poles. Okay, that's good. And then I think by the time I've got 2 of these, like I can't take one of these and tile it down, because the rail tiling with 2 things makes that not work. But if I have 2 of these things, then I can blueprint this a little bit easier, because that's an even number of tiles that does work with the rail that's in it. And then I think I just want to go, wait, I got to figure out how much more landfill I need over here, because kind of want these 2 things just here like this. But then the other messy thing about this is all of, yeah, these different pumps that feed in different places, and most of them connect to like 2 banks of turbines, and the same thing happens over on the left. Some of them only connect to 1, and it's all a bit of a mess, and then I've got to do this kind of recombination thing anyway. But also, some of these lines carry 10 exchanges worth of heat. Some of them carry, yeah, there used to be 1 here, there's no longer 1 here. It's this pipe here, this pump here, that carries 13, and then there's like an 11, and then these pumps through the middle are 12s, and so keeping these networks distinct is kind of less efficient, but also whatever, probably going to be less efficient anyway. I think that's ultimately the thing that's probably going to save this, is that, where are the rest of the bots? Are they turning up to do things? There's 100 bots somewhere. Yeah, I think the thing that's going to save this as a plan... do we even need to worry about... I kind of do. I think we're just going to talk about why this is fine and then walk away from it. Is that I think we're going to pivot away from trying to do stuff with solar, because solar is... You know, I got a lot of solar panels. They're providing me a decent amount of stuff, but I've just added... Why have I not just added? Are some of these things not on the grid? All of these things are on the grid? Maybe they don't have steam. It's quite possible that they don't have steam, because they're also not, yeah, we're not actually fueling these things. We're not fueling these reactors yet. We've given them the first stuff to get everything up to temperature, but we're not actually running it as a system. Is, yeah, that if I'm more or less running all of these as a steady state, like, I don't think I'm going to bother... One of the things I was thinking about was circuit conditioning all of this stuff in the middle to only add fuel when, like, what was this doing? I'm going to have that. When tanks were low and the thing needed it, and maybe, you know, maybe this tank here is also sort of run itself out. Okay, cool. That's kind of the plan. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to bother tanking any of this or circuit conditioning any of this. I think we're just going to go, like, request yourself all of these things, and then just run permanently. Like, I don't think... Because also... Also, the fuel we're using here is the stuff that we can just cover X anyway. Like, it's just normal uranium fuel with normal uranium stuff. That's fine. Let's get these guys going with their reactor, their neighborhood bonuses. So I think, yeah, I think the fact that, like, I'm pretty happy that this exchanger core will get 2 gigawatts of steam away from the reactors, which is fine. It's that the turbines are kind of suboptimal enough, and part of this is just because I'm trying to build this around this grid, which I'm insisting on getting stuck on things or whatever. Did you actually get... You did get a delivery, okay, fine. Then this should be completely fixed, right? Yeah. Like, we are... Power grid is completely fine now. Yeah, that I don't think I'm ever going to be in a position of actually tapping this thing for 2 gigs, because I don't think, like, by the time my power grid, not that button, this button, by the time this power grid is all the way back up here again, I'm going to be looking at building more power grid, and it will probably be down here anyway, which means this thing is going to be chewing through fuel faster than it needs to, but also whatever. So yeah, so there's a couple other things to do at this point. Power grid is now fixed, which means that let's go find... Actually, let's drive past these guys and also just blueprint the rest of this rail, because maybe we built something over here, maybe we don't. And they're complaining about not having a couple of exchanges. Okay, fine. Being short of 2 exchanges is, you know, a thing that I'm okay with. So after all of this time, yeah, it would be vaguely interesting to know. We're just going to go manual. It would be vaguely interesting to know how long it took me from liberating that space to actually putting the power grid there. Those all went in the wrong spot. We've got to line these things up with... Yeah. We got a tiling blueprint. It's not an absolute tiling because we can use... Like, the middle one is absolute tiling, but the edge one isn't, because I haven't bothered to figure out how to make the tiling work that would rotate into the correct spots for both the bottom and the top of the grid. But we're gonna have a lot of trees in this network, aren't we? There's not even too much to do with them. So, yeah, we've now got that power grid online. Oh yeah, and then I was actually gonna have this thing drive somewhere, wasn't I? I was gonna drive to these beacon cores. These are gonna be the next big deal, and then also the second part of that, hey, I've got power grid, what shall I do with my power grid, is build some more of these, because I've got... I don't remember whether I needed 4 or 5. Maybe this is the... I mean, okay, so only 4 are running at the moment. Maybe I did only need 8. But this thing is currently going into this tank, which is not filling this wagon. And yeah, one of the interesting things about this power grid is there's, yeah, assembling machine 3s, we expect them to take a lot, especially once we're moduling and beaconing stuff, and we kind of are, but then K2 core, K2 beacon, K2 energy providers, roboports, this is a lot of building and bot charging and stuff like that. So the roboport is not a big deal, but a lot of the big power users are the beacons and the K2 beacons, which is why we've kind of had the beacon extension turned off for a while. But this bit here is the link that will connect the tank of K2 energy to the train that will take... I actually have K2 energy. Do you have the other... Do you have a name? Yes, and you also have a disablement, which is good. Okay, so this train that I was looking at to check that it can do a thing, can in fact do a thing. We can go from have K2 energy, full cargo, to requesting K2 energy, empty cargo. Let's add a 10-second thing here as well. Because we've got a fuel thing here, and yeah, this thing can now go there. Yeah, and then bots will add all of these. This will only pump out a surplus. I'm pretty sure I set that up that way. And then these guys are all now running because the surplus we are now pumping. There is a circuit condition there. There's some setting on it. Maybe it's... Okay, so it's a 10k setting. Okay, fine. And then... Yeah, we just drained quite a lot of that onto this train, which is now presumably going to turn up here. The other thing that I've got is I've got these things, but it's also striking me that I don't have the modules to put in those yet. So let's not actually run them before we're getting any benefit from them. And then I guess we've also got to worry about the channels and stuff like that. But whatever, we'll deal with that later. Okay, so, actually slight disadvantage here, because I don't have the modules. Okay, never mind. There's stuff back at the core we have to do anyway, so we're gonna go there. Although, I mean, I had to come back personally anyway, because it didn't look like... It wasn't even that far away. Yeah, we've got to get... A couple of these need to go out to the east, but it's fine. Only 2 of them by the looks of it. Things I wanted to do over here, and I guess with these Roboport requests, because I don't see us needing a lot of them, let's do speed 2s, and speed 3s, and efficiency 2s and efficiency 3s. And these things are all going to make 2 stacks of each of these, which is, to be honest, way more than I need, but whatever. And then setting them up this way, rather than with a direct insert thing, means that they will all pull things out of storage before going to each other's provider chests. But also, oh wait, didn't I also have... Where's the old Logimall? The old Logimall is down here somewhere, so we can get rid of all of these things. Because yeah, I think there's going to be a couple of things. Yeah, do I need to worry about any of these existing anymore? I probably don't. I mean, this is all kind of old military tech, other than these boxes and the beacons, but whatever. Yeah, things. So I need 2 of each of these to put in the beacons. Now that I've got all the power grid, I could also think about swapping one of the other, yeah, like the 2nd channel or something. Like this amplifier could be 2 speeds because we've got the power grid now to be able to be boosting everything rather than making it that efficient. But yeah, I guess we gotta wait till those things turn up again. I was hoping to turn those on immediately and they didn't. Oh well. The other thing that I really need to do is I haven't got any of these nuclear waste storage things anywhere. I don't think these get a recipe. No, these don't get a recipe, which is great because it means that I can figure out a pattern like so. And yeah, all the way over at the fuel reprocessing, this is kind of backed up. This is kind of bad. We've got those things actually on opposite sides of the belt, so we might actually have to go and deal with that. Is that true? That's actually not true. We're just going to delete all of those. And bots are going to put it in storage, and then this is going to be, yeah, waste is going to be on one side, and the canisters are going to be on the other, and that's fine. And then this nuclear waste facility thing is a thing we're going to have to put somewhere. And I don't really mind where. How fast does this thing even go? Can't tell. But I think they are pretty slow. I do remember it was a thing that I think I got one of them once or something, and I just needed quite a lot of it. And also it's nuclear waste storage, so let's make sure we do that. Yeah, let's just go. All of this is inside a grid, so we've got Roboport capacity. Let's add. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't know if these things get beaconed or not. I also don't know exactly how many of these I need. This is now making me sad because I kind of wanted to snake the belt around to get another set in here, because I don't know how many of these things I need. And things that are easier than asking how many you need is just building a ton and being fine with it. But this is now put, 32 of those on the map. These guys can go away, and then there were more in fiber maker, nuclear waste storage. Yeah. So those are going to be doing things. These guys are waiting for module frames. Are module frames just coming from the other side of the map? Where are my module upgrade? Yeah, module frames are still coming from all the way over here. Am I okay with that? I think I'm okay with that. Because how many are these requesting? 1? Yeah, okay, let's upgrade that to 20. Because everything else is coming in fairly short distances, which are going to be easy for Logibots to manage, whereas these module cores arriving from a long way away will go better if we have like more bots in the air bringing us more Logibots. More Logibots? More module frames. Like, I think this was the thing that changed about the reprocessing as well, that I just increased the request numbers, so we'll have, more bots in the air, less time with these guys not running, need to get those modules so we can do a thing. So, what... Did I have a train somewhere? I actually don't remember how many trains I had, and I think we're going to keep the trains there. I don't think we've left a rogue train anywhere. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have put some radars over here. Okay, so that's where, grumble. That's what the thing we're going to do next. We're going to go back. I still have these cores. I think I concluded that the reason why I like this active provider thing rather than... Actually, I don't really need those. Why I like the active provider rather than using trash slots is because I can do stuff like that, where that box can just have things that I'd rather... Was that yellow science not running? Yellow science is not running because LDS. Interesting. Not getting LDS. Let's complete what I was saying about trash slots. I think I'm not using the trash slots because if I did what I just did of trashing a bunch of stuff from my inventory and then just driving away in a train, the bots would have a terrible time, especially as I've now just left that network and I'm in just a different network doing a different thing. I think I like the request chests in the home station and also the Logibots in the home, the Logibots just with trash chests and stuff. What was it, fellas? Radars. Because it means I can pick things up or drop things down and then just walk away from them, and not worry so much about whether or not the bots will catch up with me. And it might also be a function of speedrunning, where you don't really use... where you don't expect to have logistic bots. And so the thing you do in a speedrun, because you don't have logistics bots, is put things in a chest and then alt-D the chest. So yeah, I should have brought... What is that color on the map? Oh, it's a... Why are you not complaining about not having cliff explosives? Like, how are you not complaining about cliff explosives and also haven't got rid of that yet? Is there a bot wandering over here from the other side of the map? Who cares? Moving on. Let's go over here to check that these sections have been built as well, and then we will have finished a whole grid. And I did put radars over here, didn't I? Yeah. Because I had to landfill. That one is kind of not where I wanted it. I kind of wanted it there. We'll go back. It's fine. Yeah, I'd get slightly more positions that I can scan. I think the ribbon is going to be quite good for radars scanning stuff as well. Like, I don't think these areas out here get scanned by radars at all, because those tiles just don't exist. I think the radars just continue to scan out the tiles that exist in the ribbon, but I'm not actually sure. They could do kind of anything, really. But also, this is a thing that we can just, like, wait about and not worry about it. And, yeah, sure. Okay, back to the core. Is this... Oh, this is going to take us straight past all the chunks we wanted to update to see whether or not the rail had built. And we kind of already know that the rail has finished, because bots aren't asking for rail or anything, so that's nice. Am I reprocessing fuel? Am I reprocessing nuclear waste? The answer to that is yes. Kind of. Although I did... Yeah, there was... Oh, that's the other thing I was going to do. Yeah, there was waste over here that was on the belt that I LD'd that went into storage, which I'm kind of fine with, because I think there were already some nuclear waste of that type in storage. So I think we're going to do a little request thing once we get back here that we can copy and paste. Like, we want to do uranium-235 fuel rods, and then also just like 60 of these things. If there's any in the logistics network, this box wants them, but the box doesn't want to be there. The box wants to be here. So this box is... Bots are going to put this box down, then logistics bots are going to see these requests, and then all of the stuff that's in... Maybe this one should be an active provider, it kind of doesn't really matter. Yeah, all of the logistics bots will see this request once the box goes down, and then all of the stuff that used to be on the belt will just get processed through here, and that's all fine. And it looks like... I mean, these guys are probably taking a while, but that looks like it would be doing what I would expect it to. And this is also just doing... everything looks like it's fine. Sure. Okay. LDS. Definitely wanted to do some things with LDS for a couple of reasons. Actually, the first thing to check is whether or not I have... And I do. Give me 2 of these, and then... Why you don't have... Yeah, you immediately do a thing. And hurry up with the thing. I would rather you did the thing. Because you are going to give me the second tier 3 efficiency module that I want to take to the new beacon core. Are you waiting for deliveries of... Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so you give me these back, because you don't actually need to be that fast forever. You can have one of these. You guys actually... don't think I'm going to need more than 1 stack of any of those things. Like, I'm not going to need that many Spidertrons. And by the time I need Spidertrons, a stack of efficiency 3 modules is still going to be way more than I need. Okay, beacon cores are going to go down here, because that's where the rest of the build is. And... yeah, once we get these beacon cores online, we will be able to have more beacons around the place, which is pretty cool. So, beacon core 1, beacon core 2, and beacon core 2 goes that way, and is working. Oh wait, which UR channel... Yeah, so amplify... Yeah, we've got to worry about that channel stuff as well, don't we? This is red at the top and blue at the bottom, and you guys can go next to each other, which is fine. And then here we want a speed and an efficiency, and here we want a speed and an efficiency. And then you are core number 2, because I believe over at the other core... both of these are... I can't actually tell. I believe those are core channels 1. And then this one here also wants to be core channel 2. Okay, so let's test this now. Let's throw one of these guys down. Why? Oh, is there a thing where I've got to do... Is that going to do what it needs? Why? Channel 2. Max supported beacons. I was expecting this to give me more beacons because I've now got multiple channels that I can put beacons on. But it doesn't actually look... Ah! Okay, yeah. I think my impression of what's happened here is that you don't get beacons per channel. The beacons that you're allowed total beacons of are still across each channel. I mean, you can, like, if I wanted different configurations of what the beacons did, I could have different modules in different channels and then assign the beacons as necessary, and then still only have the number of beacons, because this... because when we had... Because I remember previously that I was able to see what channel a beacon was, and even maybe change that channel. No more just... yeah, okay. Let's just... yeah, so I think we... so can we change this to amplify to channel 1? No. So that's just going to be amplifying... This is going to be amplifying on it... yeah, because I don't think I think I'm just going to keep all of the beacons the same at the moment. Like, I'm tempted to put another speed in here for things like... yeah, to have a channel for labs and things that don't pollute that can have more speeds in, but I don't think we're actually going to bother. I think we're just going to be slightly disappointed with how that worked out, because I was planning on having more beacons immediately, and I now kind of don't. So that's a bit of a shame. Anyway, let's go to the LDS, because that was the thing I wanted to look at for multiple reasons anyway. Because that will have some beacons I can poke at and see whether or not I was ever able to change, although I've taken out this other core, so maybe that's not a good test. I think I'm still happy with getting the second one online, because it's also still getting me more of these cubes, which I need to, because now we've done that. Now we've figured out that the thing we thought we were doing doesn't work. This more beacon support is a much bigger deal, because instead of the second channel of beacons taking us to 200 beacons and then this taking us to like 500, we've got this is the tech we need to get any more beacons than the 100 we've currently got. I think I just got out of the train at the wrong place. Cool. Let's use this backup train and hope the other one didn't have any place going to the core. Where's the LDS? Yeah, it's this one here. You just stay there. I need to go and pick you up after like going the wrong way. Let's go to this one, so we're right next to everyone. Just pick it up and they'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of interesting. All of this stuff is jammed up in a way that's completely fine, because the main product coming out of this is this rich powder, which is the thing that we're turning into rich water, and these rich water tanks are full, and so that's fine. Okay. We need to get more LDS in here, and I think the way we're going to get more LDS in here is I can upgrade these beacons, kind of. I think in order to do that, first of all we get rid of these things, and then we also need to move all of this stuff, all of the rest of this stuff, one tile, yeah, all of that, even down to okay, not there. All of this stuff from here needs to be one tile to the right. So instead of there, it needs to be here. And then this thing here needs to be back a bit and can continue. And I think because we're speeding this up, I think the easiest way to speed all of this up is just going to be to red belt all of that. That was not the easiest way to red belt all of that, but whatever. And this means we'll be able to get half lanes into each of those. This is going to put a bunch of copper and plastic and steel in the logistics network, but I don't really mind. If we do upgrade all of those things, and then also these undergrounds don't even need to be here at this point. Just get rid of all of these undergrounds. Get rid of all of these undergrounds. That is in fact all of the undergrounds that need to go. Get rid of all of that stuff, because this is now just going to be red belt. How far do we go? We can go that far, and then it's here is where the red belt is, isn't it? Yeah. And that, because we've now created that extra space, I think we've also freed up some beacon space, right? Yeah, we had 4 beacons. That's not the key I wanted. This is the key I wanted. We had 4 beacons in here before, which means we can fit. Now we've expanded this middle. We can fit 4 beacons in here in ways that will actually the 4 are going to go here. Yeah, that one's, sure, whatever. Yeah, so each of these beacons will be hitting 10 of these assemblers, which is nice. None of these are sticking their influence out of the top in a way that's kind of suboptimal. That's going to be the 4 beacons we had there previously, but we've upgraded them from tier 1 to tier 2 beacons. And we're also having these beacons hit more assemblers. So that's going to get us more LDS out. Do I have to worry about... No, I don't do I. I was just wondering whether or not I needed to worry about... Okay, wait, there is something here I need to worry about. This tile needs to be here, and that one needs to go that way. Yeah, because this is the output belt, which also now needs this to go like so. Yeah, and then I don't need to worry about the input capacity for either of these, because we've got half a yellow belt of plastic here, half a yellow belt of plastic here. That's a 4-to-1 ratio of like half a yellow belt of plastic to a full red belt of copper, and that is indeed the ratios of these recipes, so we're fine with that. And yeah, so we upgraded LDS. LDS is going to do a thing. Yeah, that's probably why the yellow science was unhappy. I just want to check if the yellow science has been fixed at all, and the answer is no, because this train... I mean, okay, so we were also refitting the LDS at the same time, so I'm not super concerned about that, I guess. Labs now have purple science and are low on yellow science, and I think that means we can go back to space science, because that's pretty exciting. If we've got purple science to actually, how much? So we're like 60% of the way through 20k, so we need like another 7,000 science or something, you know, sure, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna presume that that's fine, and that's facing the wrong way, and we're gonna go and put a rocket silo somewhere, because that's the thing we've got now. And I think the thing we're gonna do for the rocket silo is let's just lodge-all this thing, like even like right here. I think we're straight up just gonna lodge-all it, because is everyone here happy now? Yes. And I've also worked through all of... I did not need nearly that much, but I'm fine having that much. And then why have I got... Oh, these are the ones that are starting to return from... Yeah, these are... Yeah, so that's doing what it should. Cool. Yeah, the thing that struck me is the There are some things that I want rocket fuel for in the general vicinity of... Rocket fuel? Are there things I want rocket fuel for? I'm not sure there are. LDS there is. LDS I probably want a train that brings stuff in for LDS. I've got a train somewhere that brings in, yeah, the carbon plastic that I need for the satellite. I need... And then the labs are also just right here, being sad about not having the yellow science. There's nothing... I've done everything that it just needs. You know what? This is the thing that leads me into beacon support. Let's just see how far we get with this thing before we run out of the beacon tech completely and are just sad about it. Because I don't think I've got all that much. Yeah, there's like, each of these things is only requesting 10. It's a bit sad. But yeah, the thing that struck me is, if I have one of these things, how far do we get? Blue chips, carbon plastic here, and then we also need to just link a couple more of these things up. The other thing that struck me is, like, this is how far my train stations go, but if I'm allowing myself train stations that have only 2 wagons in them, I can even have train stations all the way back here, which might be a cool thing, might be a good thing for things like RCUs and the carbon fiber plastic, but also the other thing I realized is, like, it doesn't fit super well, but I can fit, I think the interchange is different, but I can fit another line of train stations, like in, I think it ends up here, but I have to redo the intersections differently. But yeah, it's possible to get a lot more stations if I need more products in here. But the thing I want at the moment is, yeah, we're also going to, actually, yeah, I just need a good way of identifying which station I'm talking about. Because we want to find the LDS. Actually, really obvious things that I should have done but haven't. Where is the LDS? LDS is here. Yeah, and then we're just waiting on belts and stuff. Yeah, ways to increase the amount of LDS you're making. Actually, let's check that we're not getting any rogue stations that we want. There are no stations on the other sides of this grid. No, this is in fact, this thing here is straight up just an LDS build, and we can just take all of that and figure out somewhere else LDS can go. Is that... Yeah, I don't want somewhere with too many train stations. The nice thing about all of the solar was that it just took up... It did something useful with the squares that I didn't want stations in, but we kind of don't have that anymore. Yeah, I think we're just going to drop some more LDS over here. We don't have the beacon capacity yet. Although... Yeah, if this boosts... Yeah, no, yeah, okay, so we're gonna have one of these that doesn't have beacon capacity, and then we're gonna have another that when we get beacon capacity we can beacon this harder. But we've just, you know, boosted our LDS throughput, which is nice. And then, yeah, then I wanted to get the LDS station here, which is yeah, and then this train doesn't have a station to go to get LDS, which is why it's still here. This one is like, the LDS stations will turn on once they have enough LDS to bother having a train stopping by. But this one here wants to be this station. Yeah, this is the one marked by the splitter. So now I've got carbon plastic, and we've got LDS, and this, if I've got less than, I don't need all that much LDS in this general... Oh no, wait, that's not true. I was thinking about like satellites and stuff. I think if I've got less than 800 LDS, I do want LDS here. And then I also... Where is... Please LDS. Then this one here, we're going to request rocket fuel. And yeah, I was wondering if I was going to do like a train supply for all the things adjacent to a silo or something. I I'm pretty sure I already have a, yeah, we've got that station is set up. And then same thing, if we have less than, actually, I think we can go with 400. I think we can go with 200. Yeah, if we've got less than 300 rocket fuel in this chaos storage, then bring more of those. And at the same time, like 800 is how much we'll get from a train, but also, and then I guess RCUs are going to be a similar thing, but here. These rocket fuel, train stop rocket fuel, still connected to the thing, and then, yeah, RCUs. And we're not making RCUs anywhere yet, but this is going to be what the plan for the station is. Let's have a space between the icons so it looks a little nicer. Yeah. So we've now also, yeah, we've now got train stations that will request into this chaos storage the things we need to make a rocket, which is nice. Oh man, look at how close we've got to extra beacon capacity, and then we've just run out of. We are so close. I mean, I say we're so close. It's not actually the one I care about, is it? I need another 40 because I'm 90% of the way through that, although productivity, but then I need, to get more beacons, I need another 1,000. We are still quite a long way from getting that beacon tech online, which is a shame. I think these things make, yeah, these things make the recipes cheaper, which is, you know, cool, but also whatever. And then, yeah, I think the plan for the silo is straight up going to be somewhere I've got a silo. Yeah, silo's going to go here for lack of any better place. And then we're just going to request chest this stuff into play. And let's have some stack inserters, because, you know, we like stack inserters. Let's use fancy poles, because we got fancy poles. That's fine. And then each of these things will want to be requesting... How many can I fit? If I requested 400... Yeah, let's request 400 of each of these. So each of these boxes... did I just unset that? I think I did, didn't I? I think I configured the wrong one and then moved it around and did the thing again. Okay, yeah. Sure, whatever. Yep, so these two are going to request 400 rocket fuel each. Then these two can request 400 LDS each. And then these two can request 400 RCUs each. And then we can have one of these that, let's do, yeah, we'll do this over here. And this will make our satellites, which we don't have yet. Do we at least have... We're still waiting on getting the yellow science. Where is the train at the... getting to Beacon Science B? I mean, that's at the end of the sequence, isn't it? Okay. And then we're going to have these things that pull stuff out. I think I actually need quite a lot of stuff to make... I think I need quite a lot of stuff to make the satellite. I don't actually remember, but it's... Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff. And then I will still need to make... So radars we're making, accumulators and solar panels are the things for which I don't yet have a decent plan. But yeah, then the plan is... I think I'm going to need a combinator here, which is fine. I would rather have, purely for aesthetic reasons, like a little bit of a gap between... Does this mean I can put these in a different place? Kind of. You know, that's fine. Yeah, now we can have space science going into these two boxes. Then we can... have this combinator some space science. Where's, oh yeah, it's in obvious places, yeah. Space science, add together all the space science, output the space science signal, and then this inserter here runs if the space science is less than, say, 2000? Sure. And then let's also override this to stack size 1, and then, yeah, we can actually set the rest of these recipes here. Okay, bots are doing something. I don't know what bots are doing, they're fine. We also can't beacon this yet, which is a bit of a thing, but never mind. And then all we have to do over here is one of these things. Is it going to be this one? I guess we've got space here, don't we? Yeah, so we're just going to change this one, and we're just going to add, request another 200 space science. And then I think we're going to increase the yellow science request. Maybe not. I was wondering about increasing the yellow science space request, but we also kind of, I mean, I guess whatever. It's either spread evenly, or if I'm short, I'm still just short of science, and that needs to be the thing that we change anyway. Yeah, that's the right configuration. So these things here, I'm also going to go there, and I don't think I balls that up. Those are still the right requests. Then these are, yeah. And then are these ones mirrored? They are. That is a high risk way of maybe putting the beacon configuration in the wrong place, but also whatever. Yeah, so then the ones below the substation are also this pattern below the substation, and then all of these ones are the pattern through there, and now all of these things, not those ones, those are all just the basic ones, all of these things should have requests for space science. So, other than the fact that we don't have the space science yet, and we don't have RCUs yet, and we don't even have all of this stuff built yet, why not? But yeah, then we'll be able to configure these requests to build those guys later. I think the other thing that we're going to need at this point is, yeah, so let's do that here. Let's do accumulators. Why have I not? Yeah, there are accumulators, yeah. And then, R2 on accumulator? Because the thing I haven't thought about, and this is also the case with the rocket fuel build. Let's check on the rocket fuel build and just check that it's doing the things it needs to. And the answer is mostly yes, but not super fast. And I was expecting to have more beacons here, but I kind of don't. But we've got... Does this train even have... It does not. Yeah, so let's just add the schedule to this thing. Where is... Have rocket fuel... please, rocket fuel... There we go, and then... Full to empty, and then... Have rocket fuel is also where we are fueling these trains. And yeah. So this same chaos mall here, I think I actually need to add... Let's not run over the tracks at this point. I think I need to add more chaos storage, because I'm now kind of committing to putting all of the rocket parts in this storage as well. And yeah, the nature of this stuff is like, this is great, because these guys are just going, yeah, we've got some requests by the silo, so just take that stuff to the silo. That's fine. Yeah, if this ever fills up, we're gonna have some issues, but it's probably fine. These guys are... Let's go up to 4 stacks of each, which is more than I need for satellites. So yeah. So I guess RCUs could be a thing. That was going to be another thing that I was going to build, wasn't it? Oh yeah, that was... yeah, let's go and have a look at the reactor that... Oh, okay, so we put some radars down. We've figured out how big the ocean is. It's actually not very big. It's kind of like... This could even be like a river across the ring world or something like that. But we've got some alien bases that we're going to ignore. There's some resources, whatever. These two guys are kind of sad. All of this is on grid. Let's quickly check that. I'm pretty sure it's fine, but... all this stuff is only just on grid. Let's put that power pole back so it's at least on grid a little more. Then all of this is kind of a mess, but it's fine. I don't even have radar on... don't have radar on the side to figure out how much stuff is in there, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so we're doing almost... I think, to be honest, the plan for getting the solar panels for this guy is going to be I'm just going to deconstruct them. Like, I don't think at this point with the nuclear that I've got that we're going to worry about... yeah, bots are just slow. I don't think I'm going to worry about bringing in... like, putting tanks around the place. Although I guess this... that's not the thorium reactor. The thorium reactor is over here. This guy's kind of got tanks, and so could do like a morning to night thing and handle the other solar load, but also it's just gonna like these turbines are just gonna split the load with the other power plant and just not care. And at this point, like I'm already into like nearly 2 gigs. We're going to be doing more of that. We're not going to be doing as much of that because beacon stuff. One. Okay, so I have also quite happily worked my way through these guys' backlog of nuclear fuel to reprocess, so that's cool. And these tanks are also fine, and that's, yeah. So I think we actually need... what's this deconstruction planner? This deconstruction planner, yeah, I think we're going to get rid of this deconstruction planner, and I think we're going to have a deconstruction planner for solar panels, and we are going to get the solar panels we need to launch basic satellites by just deconstructing them from the map. And yeah, we've got purple science. We're still waiting. Oh, we're still going to be waiting on the LDS, aren't we? Did that other LDS build at least go in? I built it all the way over here, didn't I? But then, yeah, so we've got a delivery of steel. This is going to be making us more LDS. This LDS is disabled. Yeah, so whichever of the 2 LDS builds come online first, and it's going to be by default be this one, because it's the one with the beacons, but the other one, you know, it might still make some decent amount of LDS, and then trains will go to whichever of these... what am I saying it's got? If I've got 400, okay, fine. So that's a full train load of stuff. So there's probably a train that's sitting around in the... let's get rid of the eyesore stuff. Yeah, this train here, in the purple science, is waiting to see which of the LDS stations like declares that it has LDS first, and then it will go there. So that's fine. That also means that the yellow science is... okay, this train just arrived, and this LDS is making its way down this belt. Okay, so all of that is fine. Yeah, I think the plan for getting solar panels for this guy, because everything else is pretty normal. Also, LDS and rocket fuel we've just put in the network, so that's fine. Blue chips we already have in the network. Radar and carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Radars we're making here. The other stuff we're training in is just solar panels and accumulators, and we're now also making accumulators. And I think we're just going to go around and just Alt-D from the map, as we need them, solar panels to launch satellites with. Although that said, I think over here, yeah, this build is still just going. And I've got 3.4, 12, 14. I've already got 14 satellites worth of stuff here, so I think that's probably just fine. Okay, so the 2 things I'm thinking about making now, and I think we're probably going to start one of them and then not get all the way through it. I think have I built... oh, there's still all this other petrochem stuff that I've just not done anything with yet. Okay, sure. Oh yeah, there was train superchargers, weren't there, as well? I think I've got... It's over here. I'm pretty sure I've got train superchargers somewhere. Yeah, these things here are train superchargers, yes. The thing I don't have, and is it too aggressive to do this now, is like train nuclear reactors. Like I've now got a way of getting high energy MOX fuels, because that's what we get if we make with the reprocessing. Here's the reprocessing. Yeah, like this is making plutonium, but not very much. These things that spit out the stuff that... I was expecting this other train to bring back... Yeah, I was expecting that train to bring back more stuff, and it's got another 40 for me. Okay, so I need to increase that limit, because these things look like they're putting... Yeah, there's actually another 60 here, and I would much rather that all of those were here. So let's... I mean, we've got a bit of time, because that train is on a, like, 10... or like a minute-long timer or something. 235 fuel rods, let's request 200. And then copy this, and then put this configuration over here. And now, yeah, like, this was only going to pull 20 at a time, and each of these providers had another 10 in it, so it's going to take 3 trips, whereas with the amount that we're requesting now, all of those used fuel cells should end up here pretty much immediately, which means they get loaded on the train immediately, which means this could actually just be 30 seconds. And yeah, now this thing is fine again. Actually, how many? Wait, this is gonna be the same amount. It is gonna be, yeah. So this thing will fill up to 200. I think. Is that chest limited? Let's see if this chest is limited. Yeah, so this chest is limited to 200. Which means that, yeah. Let's unlimit... Are we going to unlimit the chest? We're not actually going to unlimit the chest, yeah. But, so 100 is the right number to be requesting here. So, and 200 is going to be like a buffer to be fine, because this chest will end up with 200 in it. After I've used 100 of those... the train station will be active and the train will arrive, or it will like start to join, and then the rate at which these fuel cells are coming out of that is exactly the same rate as fuel cells are being used, because that's what they're doing. So I will expect to end up with about 100 things here if the difference between this train configuration and this chest is also 100. Like, and that, however often that happens, will be how often the train does the thing. Okay, I think I'm fine with that. So I do have a way of making, yeah, those MOX fuels, because the MOX fuels are made from the plutonium, which is made from reprocessing the fuel that we were just looking at. So I've got a way of making these train nuclear reactors, which will mean that I can put these superchargers on... Where did they go? Ahead, yeah, on these fancy special trains here, which have... I already put some superchargers in this train. Yeah, so these superchargers. I think... I mean, the thing about that is... Because if we did this train supercharger recipe, train nuclear reactor, so to put 3 superchargers in each train, the cheeky thing about this is this straight up just needs nuclear reactors as an input, which is super aggressive. Can I afford that? How are my red chips doing? Red chips being the thing I'm also wondering about. Yeah, the red chips, now that I've turned the purple back on, are not super great. And especially if I'm about to add RCUs, are not super great. So I think I don't think I do that yet. I think I get myself a better red chips node that I can copy around the place that we just did, like, for the LDS, which is... Yeah, is this train station available now? Not yet. What is this output signal? 108, okay, fine. Yeah, I don't think I quite do these things yet. Like, I think that will be... In fact, let's also configure nuclear reactors here. Yeah, because we need to bring in... Like, most of these things are fine, except also actually steel. The purple science also needs more steel, doesn't it? Okay, never mind. Yeah, the two things I was thinking about implementing, which we are even further away from getting that done now, is... Yeah, metal foam. What is metal foam? Metal foam is none of... Oh, okay, so this is the start of the post-lead stuff that I haven't really looked at yet. Yeah, okay. Aluminium and steel. That's actually super easy. And then titanium. And that's in a compound material facility, and that's actually also super easy. That looks like it's going to be a quite easy thing to do. The other thing I was going to think about doing was also just RCUs. Like this, just straight up start working on some RCUs. And I think... Which of those do I want to think about doing yet, and where will they go? I think the RCUs are going to have... This is nearly the pattern I want. I've got... Yeah, we can get these things out of the way at this point as well, because we've got the logistic request for all of that stuff, so that's fine. It does mean that the next couple of fuel requests are going to be from the logistics network. Oh, wait. Do I have... Does this actually achieve anything at this point? Am I putting... I don't think I am. I think that was silly, right? 55... Do I have one of these train stations requesting those charged crystals, or those artificial crystals? Because if I do, then these trains moving things around the place are just a bit of a disaster, and the answer is no. Good. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, so I wanted to find something of roughly this pattern that we can then go and grab the train station and drop that somewhere, because I want... Yeah, the RCUs are still going to take 3 stations, aren't they? They're going to take... Yeah, all these barrels of things, that like, whatever. Yeah. Speed Module 1s, blue chips. Speed Module 1s will make on site, and yeah, I just need the 3 cans of chips. So it's going to be 3 stations like this. There's some stuff to unpick in here, but I think we're mostly just going to take these guys like so. And then... Do we build RCUs over here? Like, the interesting thing is... I could put this like here, build RCUs here, and then just put them straight in the logistics network and just have the bots move them over here. And not even worry about putting things on trains. That is kind of wild, and I think we're going to go and do that. Because it's not all that far from... And the output belts are even going in the same direction. So yeah, so this one here is blue chips, okay? This one here is requesting steel, but we'll change this to red chips. We got to get all of this done. Yeah, red chips. We got to get all this done before bots turn up with all this rail, because otherwise trains, like if trains get a path to say this train station while it's still requesting LDS, then the wrong train's going to turn up here, which is a shame. Whereas, are these both chains? Yes, and then these ones on this side also want to be chains. But yeah, as long as we can reconfigure these things. So we've got reds, have reds less than 500, that's fine. These are going to be the same thing, but for green chips. We just got to get this done before the combinators... Yeah, before all the rail gets built. Is 400? I think 400 is actually a decent number, isn't it? Have greens is not what I want. Requesting greens is what I want. Let's change this to 600. And then this one is also 500. Let's change this to 600. Because we are still going to be using a decent number of these things, aren't we? And then... Oh, this is also not got less than 1.5k. I don't need that many blue chips in my RCUs. Okay. So I think... How am I going to get... Yeah, so I think these ones can roll back this way. And now this thing, yeah, I think this is going to be where we leave today. We're going to have the bots turn up with the rest of the stuff, and then we're going to have a belt here of... Oh, we actually need to turn that a bit by the looks of it, don't we? We need to, like, it's got to have this little shimmy in it so that things actually connect. There. Transport belt is in the way. Yeah, and then we're going to have... Here we're going to have a belt of blue chips. Here we're going to have a belt of red and green chips. And, yeah, next time we'll build some RCUs. I mean, RCUs are a pretty simple recipe though, aren't they? Can I... Is this going to be another of these things that we just, like, smash in now? We're going to need some of these. We're going to need... some RCUs. The RCUs I want to do with Prod Mod 3s, but I also don't have the beacons yet, so I guess we're not. And then this is actually lined up super well, because this is exactly the right amount of space between these things to be, because I think it wants to be 1 to 2, doesn't it? It's not quite 1 to 2, but also whatever. Let's just annoy bots again by moving this stuff around. It'll be fine. So we're gonna have a whole belt of each of these things arriving eventually when the trains get around to it. Bots are busy, that's fine. And do I have... I'm wondering whether or not I do this in 2 lanes, and I think I do. I think I have a splitter, say, here, and you know what would be great is if this was actually on the inside of that belt, because then all of these things can just take and put on the same belt, and then we can do some pretty standard stuff of... You can have some things, you can have some things, you can have an output and an input. We can have several of these things here, we can have this stuff here. I don't even mind if this is like correctly ratioed at this point, really. I think it's going to get better once we speed module it, but mostly it's just not. Actually, how many... The thing I don't know is how many assemblers I can have on speed modules from half a belt each of these things. That is also, yeah, I think we're not going to do this one, but we're going to do the rest of these. And yeah, then we're going to have the same thing again. And then also just here, these power poles don't need to exist. I would like to see my trains turn up, so that I can just be happy that all of these RCUs are actually getting built. And then we just run this guy down here. Okay, we don't do that. We can have one of these guys like going that far. Not there, there to there, and then yeah. So this is going to so we're going to have blue chips on the inside of this thing, right? Yeah, yeah. And then some of the blue chips are going to end up on the inside of this thing, and then we're going to have RCUs on the outside. We've got some beacon space. We've got materials arriving, and then we can just go. You know what? We're gonna have more than one chest of this stuff because it does take up quite a bit of space. We're just gonna have 4 chests of stuff. And yeah, now we've automated RCUs, kind of. I'm confident we've automated RCUs. Do you have another? Yeah, there isn't quite a train bringing red chips yet. I think red chips is going to be the next thing we're going to work on. But yeah, that's kind of today's last minute hack this thing and build. We've now got RCUs. Kind of. We're walking away from that. We're going to claim that RCU's done. I think next time we're going to start on... Yeah, so if this space science pack finishes, then we can configure this thing here to launch satellites. We'll then have all the components this thing needs. In fact, as soon as that RCU build finishes, these requests are going to grab the RCUs. Yeah, these requests are going to grab the RCUs, other than the fact that I don't have enough LDS here. Other than that, we're going to start... This is not set to auto-launch with cargo. We're not actually going to put a rocket up, but we're going to start building a rocket, which is nice. All of that is still waiting for yellow science. Still waiting for yellow science. Still waiting for LDS. That is still unfortunate. You know what I'm going to do? I mean, because we were talking about building more red chips anyway, and at the moment, red chips have got just a ton of beacons. So we're going to get some of those out the way, and we're going to move those beacons over to... Like, not exactly those beacons, but that kind of doesn't matter. The important thing is, do we get at least some beacons on this other LDS node? So that's going to speed up a bunch of stuff. And yeah, then we'll have more LDS. I probably need yet another LDS node, but I'm just also not at the position of having all that many beacons, because I thought I would get more when the other beacon channel did a thing, and we are still a long way from getting enough stuff to get the other beacons, to get more beacons online, which is, you know, an interesting problem. But yeah, that's what we got done today. Our power grid is super happy. Alright, yeah, I've still got a petrochem build. I've still got old petrochem power grid somewhere, and I would rather not. So let's... Actually, this needs to eventually be a coal station, so I think the players, we cut this here, and then we cut these things... Actually, just the pump. And then we just let everything drain. I could also Alt-D all of this stuff, but I think we're just going to have... This is going to take ages, but we're just going to, like, have these power plants that are still... They're using all of it, to be fair. But we're just going to let all the stuff drain off these belts and then Alt-D everything. Some of this can be Alt-D'd already. It's probably fine. Yeah. Getting lots of things done. Getting a silo. Still tech is a bit sad. We've made a lot more LDS. In fact, I mean, if the labs aren't... How much did you bring? You brought 1.5k? That's not going to be quite enough to finish the rest of this. But yeah, I'm thinking if the labs aren't running, because I don't have LDS, then those 2 beacons there are going to be strictly less useful than find this new LDS build and just put more beacons in the middle of the LDS build. So yeah. Getting lots of things done. Yeah, next time is going to be fusion stuff, I guess, because we kind of got all the space science stuff done, other than the fact that it's not kind of running yet, and we also don't have the techs. But we've also got metal composite to make, the titanium. We've got other ways of making titanium and gold and neodymium wherever that is now, via these ingots, which I think is also a thing we can play with. Do some very good builds of those. Yeah, I think this was another long episode. We still got a decent amount done. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, stuff.